Okay, winner bracket final. Well, let's go, guys. This was kind of sprung on me a little bit, so this was actually not planned to happen today. We got a best of 7. There's a couple of things that are absolutely fascinating to me right now. So, first of all, we are obviously still in the Skyline Cup. There's $4,000 on the line here. Quite a bit of money for an online tournament. This is all taking place on the Asia server. We have Korean players, we have Chinese players, and we have Taiwanese players that make up the majority of the player base here. And we're pretty much down to the last 4 teams. We got YYDS against Team Marcel now, which is also known as Please Ban Malthale. Their actual team name, but bit of a tournament meme here. And Inferno is our first map. This is a best of 7, so that's already the first thing that just blows my mind. That in the winner bracket final, we have a best of 7 and not a best of 5. But okay. The thing that is actually kind of wild is because today we started an hour later than usual at, I believe, 10 p.m. Taiwanese time. And then the normal plan is 2 best of 5s, and that's it. And then in the middle of the second best of 5, they all of a sudden told me, oh, by the way, we're going to have another match today. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, we're going to have the winner bracket final after this. And by the way, it's a best of 7. So, kind of bonkers. And honestly, since both of the previous best of 5s went pretty much the distance, it means that it's now 4 o'clock in the morning for the Taiwanese players. For me, it's also a little bit weird because I've been here now for nearly 7 hours and I didn't plan on having that long of a day with this. So there's a lot of stuff that I now push too. We'll see if I can make it throughout the entire winner bracket final, through the entire best of 7, or if I have to bow out early and then continue with replay casting at some point. But as it is, this is map number 1 in the best of 7. We got Brightwing and Blaze picked for the blue team. It's also a little bit wild in the sense that the red team has now played 1 best of 5 already and then jumped more or less immediately into this best of 7 series. So you can argue that they're warmed up, but probably also a little bit exhausted, especially given how the last map went, or the last match went. Now, this is also a little bit special for multiple reasons. Now, I talked a little bit about how in the winner bracket semi-final we had one team actually drop out. They forfeited. They didn't forfeit the tournament, but they forfeited their position in the winner bracket. It was Luna Meow. So Luna Meow, they just forfeited their winner bracket semi-final and dropped into the losers bracket. And YYDS was the team they were supposed to play against. So YYDS did so far in the winner bracket only win their quarterfinal match and nothing else. They moved on the winner bracket semi-final, didn't have to play the series, and then ended up now in the winner bracket final in this best of 7. So I really don't have a great idea on what to make of these guys. Now, they did well in the group stage and they also had a very strong showing in the quarterfinal, but I don't really know how to value that. So we'll very quickly find out if they are on the same level as the red team, or if there is a gap between those two. Because we haven't really seen them play a whole lot yet. And in a tournament like this, we have oftentimes a pretty big gap between the top 2-3 teams and the bottom 4 or 5. So this could be a thing here, but I honestly don't know. So we'll see. Again, great showing in the quarterfinals. I believe they won it with a 3-0, but are they on the same level as Team Marcel? That's the question. So now we got Hoga, we got Muradin, we have Zeratul too. So first of all, a lot of AoE that you have for shrine control. Hoga in particular is great on the shrine. You got Stukov too, who plays a huge role in the Eastern meta right now. We've seen him over and over again, especially in the previous series where Please Ban Malthale, the red team, has already played. So they really like the Stukov plays here. But an aggressive comp, and look at that, YYDS, they already played Suljin in the quarterfinal, and they're doing it again, together with Chromie and Big Dive from Anubarak and Blaze. So the best of 7 series starts already with a bit of a bang, and well, let's go, guys. Game number 1 in the best of 7, let's see which team takes the lead here at the Skyline Cup winner bracket final. Alright, here we are, Chromie making it into the game, into game number 1. Happy as usual. We got Brightwing, Anubarak, Suljin and Blaze for the blue team, so pretty cool comp, especially considering that we have Suljin again. They really seem to like him. They already played him in the quarterfinals. Whereas over on the blue team side, we currently have Zeratul. That in and of itself is already interesting. Sylvanas for even more push power. We got Stukov, Hoga and Muradin. And this first game is going to set the pace a little bit. That's pretty much what's going to happen here. Because at the end of the day, again, we need to figure out how good is the blue team really. Is the quarterfinal just something where they faced off against a weaker team and were able to take them down without any big problems? Or are they now also giving the red team a run for their money? Now, to be fair, the team that they actually defeated in the round of 8 was Ugly Gary. And Ugly Gary just took out Luna Meow earlier today. So if the bracket, and I mean, honestly, if the bracket is anything to talk about, this should be a very, very close game. And the blue team should be more than able to handle their opponent here. So I'm really interested, because these are supposedly now the top teams in the tournament here. And despite the fact that we're having a bit of a lack of information of the blue team and the shape that they're currently in, given the results of the opponents that they defeated either in the group stage or in the first round of the tournament, they should be definitely in a spot where they are not only playing on eye level with their opponents in red, but maybe even can also pull ahead and take this. So super interesting to see. And this is exactly what I also talked about in the round of 8, that there are so many teams that seem to are very, very strong, but go up against easier opponents, that once we're heading into the later stage of the tournament, where we are right now, that the games should be absolutely incredible. And we already had some fantastic best of 5s earlier today, so if that trend continues, then we are definitely in for a banger. But for now, it's just the camps that you're taking, so 2 of them have already been claimed by the blue team. They're setting themselves ahead a little bit. Nothing insane. Small lead though. It's again the cleave build for Zeratul, and keep in mind that the red team has played this exact build in the hero already the last time that they were playing on Infernal Shrines, and they're going for Suljin. And Timeless is out of time, out of playtime. He is taken down. That's a quick gank that led to the first blood in game number 1. Nicely done by Team Marcel. And here we go. I honestly think that in the second map I should probably call them Please Ban Malthael. The meme has been going on for long enough, and it was kind of funny. I explained it in the previous matches, and it's still a little bit amusing to me. But right now, I think it's time to slowly start switching over to their real team name. I like that they're also going for the camp this time. Now, a lot of people might look at this and say, like, I mean, duh, obviously, first objective, you have to time your camp, right? You have to time the Shaman camp. And you're absolutely correct, but they didn't do that the last time they played here, which was in the winner bracket semi-final. For some reason, they let it go and just never really went for the proper timing around the shamans and around the objective. So I like that they switched that up a little bit, and whatever happened the last time that they played here, apparently they fixed that and are now just absolutely spot on with this. With Suljin on the side of the blue team, there's a couple of questions that we have to ask ourselves as usual. Now, first of all, of course, is what's happening on level 7. Is he going to go into stacks on the Arcanite axis, yes or no? And we're going to keep an eye on the baseline too, to see when he gets the range increase, when he gets the double swing. And for now, at least, they are a little bit ahead also on the objective. That could change, though, because it seems that the red team is rather interested in getting a kill here. So they're getting a bit aggressive around this. But if they really want to take this one, they have to speed it up a bit. And well, there we are. We actually get the Arcanite access. So they're going to try and get the stacks here. And that makes Suljin incredibly dangerous in the late game. And they are trying to focus him down a bit here. I don't mind that too much. Idea being, the more you kill Suljin, the less time he has to stack anything. Look how close this race is, by the way. I guess the red team might even take it 38 to 39! And the blue team claims it. Holy shit, that was close. Hogger nearly got it for the team. He's able to move away, and they are barely moving out. It could have even cost Stukov his life. But yeah, they're baiting the Punisher over. Now they should be able to set the defense up here. But this was kinda crazy. I mean, seriously, because they were so clutch there. And I guess if Hogger would have started his spinning a little bit earlier and just got one more minion, it would have been an objective in favor of the red team. So they were very close on it. They're still ahead in experience, especially thanks to Zeratul that pushed the top lane out. But Blaze should be able to equalize that again. But you're looking over to Suljin, and he's now on 11 stacks, on 10 stacks. So he needs 15 on the baseline to get the range increase, which is of course making future stacking even easier. And those Arcanite axes, especially on objectives later on, they can really crush it. I mean, they can really start to not only take down a lot of these minions and just one-shot them hard, but also take down an opponent and chunk them a bit. I assume that on level 7 we're gonna see him with the traditional plays. We haven't really seen a whole lot of like guillotine shenanigans, and I don't expect to see any here either. We've seen Suljin a few times now already, and here he comes again with another kill and another set of stacks. So the blue team, super aggressive. Yeah, really, really well done by them. They're diving in deep for these moves, trying to take a couple of these towers down. They are slacking in experience a little bit, but that's also because the red team is so diligent in taking all the minion experience here. Zeratul had to evade towards the left side. But yeah, Blaze at the top is now delivering level 10 for the blue team. And there it is. So we get the Test Dingo, as you would expect. They are still hoping to get a kill against Blaze, I suppose, but he also has the bunker. And that should... Uh-oh, Stormbolt. He needs to bunker it up quickly. And does that, buying them a bit of time to rotate over. He might still die, but Brightby comes in for the help, and now they're turning it on Stukov, and goodbye, my friend. The Admiral getting demoted, and with another stun on Muradin and the follow-up from Manuburak, it's a double kill. So they are crushing YYDS, ladies and gentlemen. Murdering, an absolute killing spree from them here. And it also helped Suljin to get closer to this first quest reward, which is the range increase. But yeah, they are hyper aggressive around this. And Anubarak also with the Regeneration Master now at 19 stacks, so he's doing quite well rotating between the lanes and getting those globes. Now, if they are able to get a few more connects here, I mean, Suljin is already having a lot of fun with this. And since his stacks also continue on level 7, I really want to see what he can do in late game objectives. But the second one is about to pop up. Right now it seems that the blue team is just way more dangerous in these team fights at least, and that the red team is struggling a bit with this. But of course always question whether or not this is going to continue, because we're still pretty early in the game. I mean, this was the first little skirmish with heroic abilities. Now that we're going into the main team fight, it's all going to be about Zeratul and his isolation with a Void Prison, about follow-ups also from Sylvanas potentially. Or if a team maybe even gets a sneaky gank against anybody before the objective becomes a big thing. But it seems like the red team is trying to do what they already did in the previous series. They're trying to play around the opponent and use Sylvanas to simply push structures. So they're not going for the objective, they're just trying to do damage without using the objective so they can equalize whatever damage is going to be done by it. So that is going to be interesting, because I think they're going to be highly successful here. And at least getting a kill? No. Brightwing and Blaze are playing beautiful. They're not only saving the fort, but they're also ensuring that they're not dying. And while all of this happens, we have a camp at the top already damaging the fort, and the objective gets taken. So it might have worked in the winner bracket semi-final for Team Marcel, but currently they at least get the kill on Anubarak. Generally speaking, though, they were not nearly as successful as in the previous series with that little strategy that they had there. Their previous opponent was a lot... No, I mean, their previous opponent had honestly a lot more trouble just reacting to this and probably responding to that situation. And instead, the blue team is going for really, really good reactions. They even get a kill on Zeratul down here at the bottom of the map. And after the top fort was taken down, the one at the bottom of the lane is now falling too. So that is massive. That's 2 forts down. And yeah... I mean, it's about as good as it gets. You now have more map control, you have 2 forts destroyed, catapults are now going to spawn, and it's great for them. I mean, this is a fantastic start. And YYDS has pretty much managed what the previous opponent of Team Marcel was not able to do. They weren't able to react to the rotations, they weren't able to react to this side push strategy at all. But the blue team here is doing a great job with it. So now they're having even pressure in the mid lane. Experience is still more or less negated by the continuous move towards the side lanes from Zeratul and also from Blaze. But the pressure is on. And with the structures lost as the game continues, this is going to become more dangerous. Especially, of course, since with the forts gone, it also means that the fountains are gone. There's no fountain on the bot lane and the top lane anymore. And that's exactly where, for example, the next objective spawns. The next shrine is up in the bot lane. Zeratul still very much alone here, trying to escape. Should be able to. Yeah, gets hit by Chromie, but not hard enough. So team fights are still on. 17 stacks for Suljin, 23 on the level 7. Again, his damage scaling into the late game. 20,000 is already putting him easily into the top damage position, even ahead of Chromie. But you compare that, for example, to what we're seeing from the red team, and it's just dwarfing the damage output. I mean, Hogga is at 12,000, so yeah, there's nothing to write home about. But level 16. That's going to be the next one to pop up here. But they're already going into the mid lane again. They're already coming into the middle of the map again. Trying to do their thing here. Trying to take down another fort. And they're dropping it. So this one is now gone as well. And that's the entire outer ring of defense gone. Red team has nothing left here. Now, we have level 16. Epicenter is in and also wrong place, wrong time. And if he is stacking more and then somebody gets hit by that, I mean, then good night. So right now another stun against Muradin nearly drops him. He gets stunned a lot here, but he was able to get his avatar out. Still being hit by Chromie. And he's dead. Well, is he? What? He made it out! How the hell did that happen? Somehow Muradin survives. Suljin has to pop his ult. They're getting the kill on, well, at least Hogga. And they're still pushing this. And if they stun Muradin out, then he's probably going to be dead. But yeah, it didn't quite work for them. So now at least the Void Slash is in action since level 16 has been taken by the red team too. But it doesn't change the fact that the mid lane is heavily engaged on, and that at the bottom the shrine is activating in 20 seconds. So yeah, Hogga is just going to be back in time, but this game has been going only one direction so far, and it is definitely the blue team that is calling the shots here. 26,000 for Suljin, and he is 50 seconds away from getting his ult back. So a little bit annoying that he doesn't have it yet for the objective, but the same is also true for Sylvanas. It's 30 seconds until Zeratul has his own, so as long as Suljin is playing this a bit slow at the beginning, Timeless is going to be completely fine in this fight. But yeah, they are taking a mad lead now. 14 stacks ahead already towards the objective. Yeah, everybody's diving out. You gotta be careful whenever these Stukov moves are coming in. And look at that! The kill! Nice! Playing it out with the level 13 and Snare as they go straight up for Zeratul, and he has no chance. Now they're trying to make the same move against Sylvanas. That maybe didn't work, but she's being zoomed back in, and Sylvanas dies after all. Nicely done. Suljin could use his ult again! Doesn't even have to! Ah! What? And he pops it at the last possible moment and is using it to murder Hogga, complete his quest and get another kill. 9 kills to 2. Guys, 5-man team wipe. Everybody dead on the red team. 10 kills to 2, and they're not even going for the objective with the entire force. They're just leaving Blaze on the spot, and everybody else is already preparing the bot lane so that they can push through it with the objective even easier. They want that keep, of course, and they are trying to go for it. Yeah, this is looking absolutely stellar for them. YYDS with another strong showing here. And game number 1 definitely answering any questions of whether or not they deserve to be in the winner bracket final. They are already moving towards the core here, starting to nibble at the shield as the Punisher is making his way through, and they are removing this shield quickly. Punisher isn't even there, and that bad boy is still at full health. So they are doing some mad work in the attempt to end the game very early on, and with Muradin being popped, I mean, they should be able to take this. Muradin is down within seconds, and just look at the core getting melted down. They're dropping or about to drop Sylvanas here. She barely escapes. Zeratul is also low, and he indeed falls. But yeah, this is it. Game number 1 is going to go to YYDS. They take the lead in the best of 7 series at the winner bracket final of the tournament against Team Marcel. GG, well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom is the second map. Let's go. I also changed the name of the team, so this is their proper name. Don't Ban Malthael is the actual team name, but again, because of a Google Translate translation from Chinese, They initially were, like, people thought that they were called Please Don't Go to Marcel or something. So we memed this a little bit with the name Marcel, but now that we're going into the real later rounds of the tournament, and here the best of 7 winner bracket final, let's put their proper name onto the board. The loser of this series is obviously not out of the tournament yet. I mean, we have a winner bracket here, so they're going to drop down into the losers bracket. This is a best of 7, so the first team to 4 maps wins. But now we have also YYDS with the lead, and they had a great showing there on the first map as we are headed into Towers of Doom, another big map. Also, quick note, people have been asking on Twitch in particular for years now for me to set up some merch, and I never really did it. And after especially Resto Mary, shout out, has been pestering me for ages, I finally got my lazy ass off the couch and set up a merch shop. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can go into the video description and click the link and check that out. This t-shirt and some others, while we're memeing Brightwing all the time, and other things are available there. And if people like it, if people respond well to it, then we're going to add more things in the future. But since a lot of people have been asking for it, I finally put something together. I have all the stuff myself, and I really like it. It's good quality, so if you were looking for something, definitely check it out. The link, as I mentioned, if you're watching this on YouTube, is in the video description. And talking about Brightwing, the fruit fly is here. So we got the fruit fly in the house, and we got Blaze together with it. Hogger gets taken on the red team side. But I like already that from the start, YYDS is one of the teams that is prioritizing Blaze a little bit higher, because we had some teams that previously at least ignored him completely. And yeah, Blaze is just too strong, too good to have a problem there. But okay, we have Sylvanas and we got Rhaegar now. So already the push strategies that we've seen thus far from Don't Ban Malthael are pretty strong there. The funny thing about Don't Ban Malthael as a team is actually that the first 2 games that they played in this tournament, they actually banned Malthael. Which then caused even more confusion, because I was like, are we sure that this is translated properly? But yeah, I've been assured many times that this is the actual team name by the admins that I'm in touch with here. But yeah. So Hogger obviously, beast on the side lane as usual. We have with Rhaegar also good ancestral healing. It's one of the things that is interesting from the meta that we're seeing here, and what the Korean teams that went to the Heroes International Miami in October, what they did. They really did a lot more around Bloodlust with Rhaegar, whereas here it's also simply just over and over again, if you play Rhaegar, ancestral healing the same that you would see in Europe, for example. So Chromie gets banned. No addressing Suljin in any way, shape or form yet. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be played again. Not necessarily here on this map, but during this series. They've done that before, and they had good success already on the first map, so why not go for it? But in this game, again, didn't expect him to be played here. We have now Lunara claimed. And we get Nubarak again. So Nubarak is in. Last 2 picks for our red team, as they are of course going to try and bring this back now. Don't want to lose too many games in a row and lose control over the series. Now, to be frank, we had, I think, now 2, 3? I think we had at least 2 reverse sweep attempts with the team bringing it back to a 5th map after initially losing 2. But yeah, some great games here. Maiev and Varian, they're very aggressive with this. It's kind of sad, honestly, that this time didn't go for Stukov. If you're already going for Varian with Taunt, then Stukov as a follow-up is always great. It's the old-school sniper composition. But with Maiev, they have even more control and tether. It's just a question of what exactly the blue team is now going to pick in the final spot. And they go for Genji. So we get Genji and Lunara for the aggression here. And guys, Towers of Doom, the 2nd map in this best of 7 series at the winner bracket final of the Skyline Cup. Let's head straight into it. Game number 2, it's Towers of Doom. On the left side, and Nubarak with Blaze, Brightwing for the heals, and Genji Lunara for the damage, as the blue team is looking to extend their lead. On the right side of the map, we got Don't Ban Malthael with Maiev, Varian, and Hogger at the front. So pretty much a triple front line, with Maiev, of course, delivering not only damage, but also all the control that she gets with the tether, with the disc. We have Rhaegar and Sylvanas to finish out the draft. And it is a strong lineup. Very, very strong lineup for them, especially if they can start to dominate team fights and get the kills. That's obviously always the goal if you're going for a variant composition. You want to really play aggressively around the taunt and see where that gets you. But it doesn't really seem that the blue team is willing to fight this too much. Well, as I say, they're actually starting to come back into the mid lane, trying to be sneaky about it. Slowing them down on the move back down to the bottom of the map. Lunara is poking this a little bit. Bambi has to be very careful once that taunt is up, but that's not the case right now, so they're still Gucci. But there's the tether, and that fight isn't over. Oh, nice, the body block. Body blocking Rega, and the doggy is down. So they're kicking the little doggy, and Genji is still able to get away, but the first blood in the game went to YYDS as they get the kill on the support. So good for them, nicely done. And can they continue this? Can they snowball this a little bit further and take control of the map again? Very different map, of course. This is always the comeback map. We had actually, in this tournament now, multiple games already where it seemed that one team won the game, I mean, easily. And every single time it's then that bloody late game where the game all of a sudden flips, the entire balance flips, and a team starts an incredible comeback. So Towers of Doom, it is amazing how often this map really delivers. When you are ahead, you have to be really concerned here. You gotta be so careful on how you play the game, and really have to be cautious that you're not getting complacent, that you still make all of the right moves. And this is something that I expect from the teams here for sure. Yeah, they definitely gotta do that. Make sure that you play as disciplined as you possibly can, even when you're ahead, and never really give your opponent a chance to get back into the game, because they're surely going to take it and going to try and take you down. So once again, the party continues. We already have another quick flip here as Genji is moving out, has to deal with the tethers of Maiev a lot. Now the taunt is also in action. That's really when the red team is going to become very, very dangerous, and when they have to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on here. So yeah, you got to be careful with that. But for now, we have also at the top, we got Blaze still sitting tight on the lane. Down here, it's already a bit of an attack against the Nubarak, but the taunt didn't quite come through in that little play here. But it's exactly the kind of style that you would expect at this point in time. So no big surprises here. Pretty much exactly what we expected from the start, but with the first altar phase now popping up, this is really where things are going to start to become a bit more interesting, because we'll see if teams are willing to commit to a battle over the third altar, for example, or if they're just going to go for an easy 2-1 trade and give up a bit of the early game here for late game scaling. Lunara at the bot lane, and it really seems that exactly this is happening. Don't Ban Malthael is taking this a bit easy. They only want one of the altars. Genji is trying to piss them off a little bit and interrupt, but eventually this channel is going to happen. But it bought a bit more time. That's really what it is. So it seemed like such a subtle and small things, but it bought them a bit more time for pressure at the bot lane. And this is obviously not something where they can take an entire wall down. But especially with Lunara, if you are able to get a couple of hits in, then you put yourself in a pretty decent position to get damage connected here. And maybe chunk down one of the towers a bit. Choking Pollen is now in as a level 7 talent, and they're already with Genji looking for another kill that they can't quite get. And he might have overstepped a bit. I'm actually surprised that there's no taunt that came out here. And I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there, but Varian should have definitely taunted him. He was in range, if I'm not mistaken. And it could have led to a kill. There was no real reason not to taunt him. I mean, it's a really tiny cooldown that we're talking about here. And look at that, Nubarak. Double checking what's going on over here. Yeah, this time he gets taunted. No immediate follow-up though. But yep, nicely done. Alright, so they're still down at the bottom of the map, trying to look if they can get a kill, get the pumpkins connected. Both of the teams got their own camp. So easy. No real trouble here just yet. But let's see what Sylvanas can do to turn the tides in the favor of the red team. We have everybody jumping back down. I mean, the rotations are aggressive. And guys, Hogger isn't here. This is a 5 versus 4. They're trying to go for a kill on Varian, and well, Stretch are trying because they made it work. They took him down, and now they're going for Rega again, and that's the second kill for the team. Genji is absolutely dancing around them here. Really liking it. Great kills, and that's 3 kills to 0, a half-level lead, and all of this just as the next double altar phase is about to start. So they should get a double. And that should put the red team really on a timer. Because if you're losing this many altars this early in the game, then you're definitely in for a bit of a beating if you're not paying attention. That's 8 points off the core, and we're down to 24. So, gotta be careful here. If you plan on scaling into the late game, you gotta make that happen pretty quickly. Now, keep in mind, if you are going for a variant composition with Taunt, you want the early game kills. You want to be the team that, starting from level 4, is dangerous and is going to go for the big kills here. And so far, that's not happening. Quite the opposite. It's the blue team that gets kills and now level 10. And they are already bunkering it up a bit here as they're starting to move in. And it doesn't look good for Maiev. She gets out, but I'm not so sure about Varian here. So they're burning this down. There's the stun. There's the second. And, well, they don't get a kill, but they definitely keep them on their toes. So if you have a variant composition and you're not able to get kills, that is would worry me a little bit. Again, we're just now heading into level 10 for the red team, but you have to make sure that you are the ones that you need to make your opponent a little bit afraid of you. And currently it doesn't really seem that YYDS is afraid of anything here. They're engaging into this time and time again, they just give a shit. But now the disc is available, the mind control too, so they can play around it. Seems like the disc is not being followed up on. Instead, they're going down to the bottom of the map, and Trashwing is dead, and so is Lonara. They get the double. Now we're talking, or not. Oh, Hogger, Genji, what the fuck? Double kill against Hogger and against Rega, and he's not done yet. They're killing Maiev. Nubarak dies, but damn, son. That is some serious murderous intent here from Genji. 6 kills to 3. Great job, and now Brightwing is back too, and they're starting to take him down even further, and with that jet propulsion they get some free hits in too. Oh, baby! Yeah, now we're talking. I mean, granted, the red team got a couple of kills, but Genji is playing out of his mind in this one. He got so many kills already. He's at 25,000 damage right now. Absolutely crushing them. Both teams again going for the camp, but we are back in a 5 versus 5 with half a level missing until level 13 talents are available for YYDS. So yeah, this isn't over by any means. They're still trying to look for angles to engage. Ooh, and it seems like we have somebody dropping out. Yep, and Nubarak has actually lost connection and is hopefully going to be back in a moment or two. Yeah, that would be quite annoying if he's not able to make it back in time. But as it stands, he's having a bit of an issue. Now, he's been playing a great game. He died only once, but there were a lot of engages for Nubarak to get these stuns. And he is definitely one of the driving forces here. With the draft they are playing, they are very aggressive, engaging with the Nubarak, going with the Brightwing Polymorph. There's a lot of CC there just overall. For example, you have also Blaze and with the jet propulsion follow-up. And they've been using this a lot. Especially Rega is really in trouble here. Take it easy is maybe taking it a little bit too easy because he's having a hard time on the doggy. He's getting taken down a lot. Now, what I want to see is also after a taunt how Sylvanas plays into this with the mind control. This is something where they now have a lot of control, especially if they can also use the disc on Maiev to isolate targets a little bit further. So on the one hand, you have the cocoon. On the other hand, you have the disc now. And you can try and section part of the opponent's team off a little bit, just so that you are in a position where you can target down another target, a different target. So if you have the taunt on one end and you get a, let's say, a disc out on somebody like Blaze, any of the stunners here, maybe Brightwing, you should be in a fairly decent spot to connect the damage. But they got to do something around that. Because as highlighted earlier, they are now trailing very heavily behind in points on the core already. And if they lose this altar and go down to 20, then it's going to be a bit difficult. Late game is everything on Towers of Doom. Once that you control, let's say, the bell towers at the bot lane, for example, you can escort a couple of pumpkins towards the core. Maybe you have even more bell tower control and can then quickly grab those altars. Then you're in a good spot. But if you don't get to that point, then it's going to be a real nightmare. And it's just a little bit better played so far from the blue team as they are coordinating their efforts very, very nicely. Now, an Uberrock again, player should be able to reconnect in a second. And once that we're there, we're going to continue with the game here and see what they can do around the altar fight. But at least for now, with level 13 also on the horizon, unless the red team is able to get a quick kill in, I think chances are very good that the blue team is walking away with another altar channel. Alright, we're back to business. So let's see what's going to happen around the altar. Now I have my own theory what exactly happened to Uberrock. Keep in mind it's nearly 5 o'clock in the morning in Taiwan. And I believe this is probably just a mom that woke up and was like, what the fuck, you're still on the PC? Like, get the hell off there and just turn his internet off. That's my personal theory. Blaze died, and Uberrock is still there, but it seems like they're going to get a counter kill on Maiev, so yeah, good for them. I mean, those kills for a kill are still happening. 13 is there, quick picks by the boys and girls, and that's the end of Sylvanas. Lunara with a double kill. Cocoon is out, and the doggy is dead too. I start to feel a little bit sorry for Rhaegar because he's been just murdered the entire game. Another stun, another kill, and with 4 kills to 1. Ah, boy, oh boy, this could be a real big problem, because not only is that another 4 shots fired against the red team, but also the lead-in experience has just now been extended, so it's 10 kills to 4, 1.5 level lead, a talent advantage, and they're getting, just generally speaking, more control of the map on the game, and yeah, this is just looking very, very dicey. So I don't know what they can do. They need kills, they need them quickly, I believe. Because as this continues, 16 is going to be happening. And once the real danger is the triple altar phase, the next one that comes up. Because if we have a talent lead around that for the blue team, this could be where the entire game falls completely apart. Currently, this is still salvageable. But in order to make that happen, you need to at least get a few kills. So they're trying to dive at the bot lane. I have no idea what just happened there. I mean, did they just try to bait? After Uberrock dove away, why did no one try to retreat? I mean, they're baiting them into a battle, I suppose, and it seems it's going to be working for them. Goodbye, Maiev. Was nice knowing you. Another kill, and they're not stopping there. They're even looking for a kill against Rhaegar and Varian. Maybe a bit too optimistic. Trying to zone Varian out. Rhaegar could get away. Got initially cocooned. But it's not looking good for the red team. Yeah, not even a little bit. Now, again, as I said at the beginning, we've seen so many comebacks on this map that I'm not going to call this for a long time, but they are farmed. I mean, Genji with Hogger. Genji with Blaze, taking Hogger down up here at the top. A work of art, and that's the 12th kill that they now have. So they just completed the dozen. And yeah, it's crazy. It's honestly a little bit crazy what they're pulling off here. I like the way that they're aggressively playing around this. They're still doing their best over here in an attempt to get a bit farther ahead. But yeah, 4 shots fired. Can they interrupt? They do. They want both, don't they? So yeah, they're trying to get the hit right there. All of a sudden, an Uberrock at the front, getting focused again. No taunt being used by Varian yet. But look at the rest of the team. They already have to retreat here, and Sylvanas dove in deep and had to be healed with the Ancestral. Great stun by Hogger, but it might not be enough. He jumps into the backline, but gets immediately targeted, and he's down. He was isolated from the rest of the team because of the bunker. Oh my fucking god! What? Genji going full Genji, X-striking away and killing half the team before he dies. And they're gonna get another 4 shots, which puts them down to 12. Guys, check this one out. They murdered. Hogger was the first one to fall. And then the X-strike right there with them diving in deep. I mean, yes, Genji died, but honestly, at this point, who can fault him? Who can blame him for that? That one was just amazing. not only the X-Strike itself, but also how they followed up on all of it and then took them down. Now they're trying to get the bell tower converted or at least dropped low. We got 48,000 already for Genji. I mean, he is murdering it. Genji is absolutely crushing it in this game. And they get it. They get the bell tower conversion. And by the way, Blaze has also done a good job destroying this one at the top a little bit. And got it down to half HP. They will get their level 16 soonish. But this is very, very well done by the blue team. YYDS is absolutely on a roll here. They're 2.5 levels ahead right now. And this is the moment where they need to be a bit careful. Because now it's 16 versus 16 talents, and it's going to be the triple altar phase. So in an ideal world, they would of course try to get to level 20. Nice little moves by Genji here too. It's a bit of extra damage against the team in Vision that gets granted. Disrupts the flow of the red team too. But here comes the triple altar, and that is likely going to push Don't Ban Malthael down into the single digits. Especially since we're still looking at a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation. And Blaze is trying to enhance that even at the top. Oh, but a Nuparak turns it around. Okay, goes for the Cocoon. Disc missing, by the way. Good jet propulsion, buying them even more time. And that allows the top to do more damage. And now they can fall back and start to take those bell towers. They're all... Sorry, not the bell towers, the altars. They're already on the move. And they're starting to get the first one here. Yeah, Genji is even threatening to take this one. But that's at least 10 shots fired. Yeah, 5 shots are already out. Another 5 any seconds on. Oh my god. They're down to 2 points. 2 points against 36. And they're trying for the altar. They're not even waiting for level 20. I mean, yes, you can retake this one, but honestly, what are you going to do with it? It's not like they need that. So yeah, my F is in trouble. Genji's still able to get out at the top. Oh, is it a kill? Yeah, both frontliners are dead. But Genji zipping in, out, left, right, front, center. Gets another kill with the team and moves out, but gets killed by Sylvanas eventually. Another stun from Blaze. It's 2 against 2 heroes, but I guess Blaze is not going to make it. So Lunara is the only survivor here. She's still trying to get a kill. Hasn't given up on this yet. Shockwave misses completely. Not even close, buddy. The kill! Are you fucking kidding me? Gets the kill on my F. Brightwing back in 38. Timeless, he's not going to get this one. We all know it. He's trying here for a second. But... no way! Oh, that's outplayed, baby! Get wrecked! The game is over! Absolutely outplayed! And that's a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 for YYDS. Absolutely glorious. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 3, a 2-0 lead for YYDS. I mean, I got my personal theory in what's going on here. I honestly think that one of those guys has a hot Tinder date. And he's like, boys, like, I don't have time for this shit. Like, let's go, let's go. She's waiting already. Can we speed this up a little bit? 12-minute game. Go, 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 go. He's been swiping right all day long. And yeah, I'm not quite sure if it's timeless, but the way that he's been styling on them with Genji and also with Lunara then in the last one kind of makes me think that might be the case here. So, well, as we're heading into game number 3, we have also Vala banned out again. A little bit of a sad one, honestly. Like, why are you banning my Vala all the time? Give me at least one game. Come on. Get the girl power into game number 3 at least. Well, instead they're banning Johanna. So quite the opposite of what we were asking for here. But alright, it is what it is. Well, what's the first pick here? Maiev, I actually like that we had Maiev. There's actually a couple of picks that we pretty much never get to see here. We haven't seen anything like a Malthael for... yeah, Malthael 2. Please ban Malthael. Actually played him, I think, once. But I was thinking Medivh. Medivh is not really a hero that gets played a whole lot here. We got, again, Blaze and Brightwing. I really like that YYDS is just so diligent about picking Blaze. Pretty much because no other team that we've seen here in the tournament so far is, and it was a topic that I talked about earlier, which I find very baffling because he's just such a good side laner. It's not like you have to pick him every single game, but the lack of plays in a lot of the matches today was still very strange. But he is here, so gets picked right now. And with that, we have Anubarak on the other side. And this is actually one of those killer comps that we talked about a bit. Now, I would have loved Stukov in the last game already as a follow-up on Varian. But if you can't go for that, then Anubarak Stukov, that's also a very strong composition to get damage out. So yeah, Anubarak Stukov, you dive in, you follow up with the Lurking Arm. And well, that's that. But either way, with the bans now, it's burst damage that you're looking for, so they get rid of Tigers right now. Which, honestly, is already a bit curious to me. I mean, Tigers is strong, don't get me wrong, but I'm curious about what their tank choice is. Is that indicative of them trying to go for a Muradin, for example? Is a hero that we've seen a lot here. I think we've seen a single Garrosh plate, but yep, that's about it. And, well, let's go on the last one. There's the Sylvanas ban, which means that Genji is still open, so you can still play your Genji again, which wouldn't shock me. Hanzo, by the way, is also up, so both the Shimada brothers are available and should be considered. And I would be surprised if none of the two gets taken here. So yeah, let's go. Blue team, they still need their front tank, the front liner, that main tank, yeah. Together with Blaze, you want to have that added stun. It could be either, and it is Lunara and Muradin again. So yeah, spot on the Muradin, but it seems like we not necessarily get Genji here. So Lunara is in the house. And on the other side, do we get... I mean, with the Nubarak, Genji is honestly great, because you can just dive in with the Nubarak, Genji comes with you. If you go Hoarder pulled on a Hogger, then he can jump in as well. Could go for another melee, of course, too, over here. There's a couple of strong options that they could consider. But they definitely need to come back into this now. You can't go 0-3 in the best of 7. That's nearly impossible to come back from. So they go for Hanzo. They got the arrow here. And with Thrall, they have another melee that also packs a bit of a punch, gets the damage in, and could also help them out with Sundering, for example. Yeah, and the final pick for the blue team. The last pick for YYDS for game number 3. A bit more damage would definitely be nice. Ken again. Look at the front line and have Lunara as the only damage dealer. Could add a bit more CC. I mean, even in Imperius, we've seen so many triple front lines with Imperius and additional stun, but they go for Chromie again. And any kind of stun chain with Chromie coming through could threaten Stukov's Thrall. And especially Stukov might be in trouble here whenever he gets a Lurking Arm out, because Chromie can then be the bane of his existence. Okay, game 3, Tomb of Spider Queen. Let's go, everybody. Third map of the best of 7. YYDS against Don't Ban Malthael. Nobody banned Malthael, but you guys are just not taking him, so I don't know what to say here. Chromie is in, together with Lunara. She's going to provide the damage for the blue team. We have Brightwing for heals and Muradin Blaze for stuns and frontline support. Whereas on the right side, the red team is now trying to go for an Anubarak Stukov comp to lock targets down. You have Hogger, Thrall for follow-ups, and also Hanzo that can either provide an arrow, go for the meme strike, just provide poke damage in general. And it's pretty much what I would expect here. So let's keep a little bit of an eye on that and see how they're gonna play this one out. But there is no doubt that they need to now step things up a little bit. They've, of course, played a lot of games in a row already. They had their winner bracket semi-final just before this series. But they really need to come in swinging right now and take a map. It's hard enough in a best of 5 if you're 0-2 to try and make a comeback and go for a reverse sweep, but if you're in a best of 7, you're in your 0-3, that is a disaster. Winning 4 maps in a row is nearly impossible in such a position, especially if your opponent will have multiple first picks, first bans, or map choices, and could even cheese you out a bit. We get the Echo of Elements, by the way, on level 1, so that's already interesting. And we've seen previously in this tournament of Thrall that on level 7 went into follow-through. And my general opinion about follow-through is it's a pretty shitty talent, because you're giving up Ancestral Wrath, which is just crazy good. It's a nuke, it's a sustain, so it's very, very good for Thrall. And a lot of players that go for follow-through then pair it with Crash Lightning or something else, and you're just never really going to get the amount of damage through that you are looking for. only players that are really top-notch when it comes to mechanical abilities will benefit from that in the first place. And if you do it, you should always go for Echo of Elements so that you get the additional channel and have an additional ability to YOLO out there. So just the entire preamble pretty much just leading me to my point that if you're trying to go for follow-through, it's something I could see here simply because he goes for Echo of Elements. It's not the standard talent for Thrall anymore on level 1. If you're in the side lane, it's usually Trolling Thunder. And if you are going in on a map where you are up against multiple heroes, where you're participating in the big team fights, Crash Lightning has been a staple now for quite some time. But Thrall isn't really a hero that in the Western scene gets played a lot on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen. He's more so somebody that we're seeing on Battlefield of Eternity. So we'll see how this is going to get played out by them and what his level 7 and his level 10 choice is going to be. So far it's mostly been Sundering that we've seen. Level 4 also gives us the Endoral Anomaly, and Thrall heading into the Mana Tide right now. So a little bit of cooldown reduction on top of this one too would lead me even more into them trying to get some extra damage out from him. Talking about damage, mid lane getting attacked heavily. Everybody is trying to make a play there for the towers, and so far some easy damage being done by the blue team. Nothing insane, nothing crazy, but again, one of them down to 50%. So as you whittle that down, your next objective is going to do so much more damage. This, on the other hand, is a great start for the red team, taking down Brightwing very quickly. And Stukov, I mean, it was a close call, but they made it work. And up at the top, Chromie, she's not even participated in the fight yet. But with Brightwing falling, yeah, gotta be a bit careful here. So either way, another quick channel already interrupted as Anubarak was trying to go for it, and they go for the Stormbolt. They connect it. There's Brightwing, and they get the kill. Yeah, he's not gonna make it. So they're collecting at least the gems, but that was well done. And Timeless, honestly, with fantastic play. Like, he saw that coming from a mile away. He tracked the Nubarak down right from the start. He realized what would happen, started to get into position already, just so he could get the additional damage in. And that then led them to an additional kill. So really nicely done. Well played, and we've seen that foresight in his plays already in some of the previous games. So yeah, well played out. But of course, it's just a kill for a kill. Teams are slowly starting to turn some of their gems in. That's especially true for the blue team as they delivered the 30. We have Thrall not giving up on the Ancestral Wrath, so he's going for it, especially against Muradin here at the front. They also try to turn in, but yeah, can they interrupt him again? And they could have. Timeless turns it around on Hanzo, and that's the kill. Yeah, Lunara is still able to get out and gets more damage connected too. It seems that Anubarak is going to fall again. Nah, this time he makes it out. So this time he gets out, but it's still the red team that has to retreat here. So the blue team, they were able to get the kill. Couldn't prevent the turn-in from happening, but now they are getting their own. And with the 13 gems delivered, this is the first Webweaver wave right here. So the blue team pulling ahead a little bit. Starting to take a slight lead here in game number 3 of the best of 7 series. But some very, very nice plays from all parties involved here. So things are looking pretty alright. Towards the top, as you can see, we have now Anubarak, Sekiro. They're already starting to again nibble around the edges here, looking to see if maybe somebody is a bit exposed and can be ganked up upon. That's not the case, so they have to fall back and then focus again on the defense against the Webweavers. Thrall is dealing with the top lane, Hogger with the bottom, which means that the blue team is, or has at least initially, focused their entire force in the middle of the map. They're not getting as much out of this as they, I think, were hoping for. Now, they're getting some damage against the fort in the mid lane. Up at the top, it seems that they're barely going to be able to scratch the wall here and take the towers down. Not more than that. So, not the most successful Webweaver wave. Now, they're playing this safe. Anubarak doesn't hit anything in this case. But yeah, next tower might fall too. Chromie is like Hanzo, just like pops his head out for just a second and bam, sand in his face. Such an annoying thing. It's one of the reasons that I honestly don't like to go to the beach too much. It's just like sand everywhere. Beach plus wind is just annoying. And every single time you know you're lying at the beach and you're tanking a little bit of sun, and then all of a sudden you know there's going to be this one dumb person right next to you that all of a sudden are just like leaving, and then with their own towel they're just like trying to get rid of the sand and it all flies in your face. It's just like, I don't know why, but like going for a walk at the beach or whatever, I like that. That's kind of nice. But outside of that, beaches are heavily overrated. They're nice to look at, they're nice to spend some time there and just like get a beer or whatnot. But just lying there and just for tanning and whatever is really not my thing. Too much sand, and sand gets everywhere. Sand gets into, like, sand gets in all the positions you don't want it to be. So, well, Thrall, he didn't get in the position he wanted to be either. He wanted to get away. That didn't happen, so he's down. We have the Playmaker picked for Muradin. Yeah, level 10, so bit more on the squishy side here. Trying to maybe go for Stukov whenever Stukov moves in. And well, for now they're not going for Stukov, they're going for Hanzo. And he doesn't like that at all. So, goodbye, my friend. Hanzo is dead. That was actually well done. Nice initial move for Muradin. And, yeah, great job. But I think that one of the things that we're going to see later in the game is probably him trying to make some plays for Stukov whenever he starts with the lurking arm. That seems like it's a thing. So, yeah, down to the bottom of the map, still a bit of extra poke against Hogger. He needs to be super careful and even dodged out with the Hoarder pulled, because, guys, he's at 41 gems. 41 gems. That is one of those moments you just cannot die. If you die... Uh-oh. Talking about not being able to die. Yeah, that Stormball dodge. If he doesn't hit that, he's dead. I'm talking about dead. Thrall is dead at the top. So Thrall is down. That's 5 kills to 1. They're now nearly a level ahead, so they're nearly holding an experience lead. But yeah, things are getting dangerous. Very, very dangerous here. It's honestly not looking all that great for Don't Ban Malthael. I don't think they're going to get that turn in. I think the blue team is now going to get their second turn in, and if with that they get some additional kills, they will whittle those gem numbers down even further on the red team side. And that is the real threat here. That you lose heroes, you lose gems, and you're not going to be able to get back into the game. So, yeah. Level 13 plus Web Weavers should be coming down any moment. Sekiro delivers. They are still missing 6. And yep, there it is. So, not happening. Ooh, Arrow. Arrow, Brightwing with a save. Cocoon is out. No, they're not going to get the kill. Which makes this horrifying, because they just used multiple ults to get a kill that they didn't get. And now they're being chased. Oh my god, no! Sundering is out too. They're dropping everything! And they're losing Hanzo. Hanzo is dead. Muradin dives in. Haymakers won. There's the bunker. They're trying to survive. Yes, Stukov is dead as well. Muradin, he might die. No, not even that happens. He's also moving out. That's 2 heroes dead. Webweavers on the ground. 7 kills to 1. Oh boy, they are in a world of pain. Oh, this is gonna hurt so much. 52 gems on Hogger. 52 and 27 here for Anubarak. So yeah, there's the Stormball already. The first fort is down. The top fort is falling. The bottom fort is falling too. It's an avalanche. We're not talking about a snowball. This is an avalanche. And if they get the kill here, that's 52 gems, guys. 52 gems. That's the ticket back into the game. And unless Anubarak is willing to commit Sudoku here and jumps in deep to try and recover them, they're going to lose all of this. This is a nightmare. An absolute nightmare for Don't Ban Malthael. They're losing ground by the second. They're 2 levels behind right now, and they're absolutely murdered. YYDS is going through them like hot butter through cheese as they take 1 fort down after another and now focus onto the keep at the bottom of the map. We're only 10-11 minutes into this game, and they have not only lost the forts, they've also just lost their first keep. This is a disaster. An absolute disaster. They barely have enough gems for a turn-in, the red team that is, and they haven't gotten a single turn-in yet. The fight also continues. Blue team jumps out, still alive. Lunara, she's crushing 35,000 damage for her right now, and it is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. They're moving away here. They have level 16, and Muradin is ready. Ready for another Stormbolt. Misses it, though. And Anubarak trying to force a fight, but even with that, I would be very, very careful. So currently, another camp gets stolen away from them. And let's not forget that the blue team actually has 43 gems. So they're 17 short of another turn-in. They could try and get 3 turn-ins in a row here. Which is just crazy. I mean, even going for the boss is a possibility, considering that they're talent ahead. And I don't think they're going to make that play just yet. But it's always a threat. He should, by the way, turn in. 21 gems. Kind of want to get rid of this. I don't want to make that happen. Camps taken all over the place. Yep, there it is. 21 gems are going to be delivered. So safeguarding them and being disciplined around that is super important. You don't want to get cocky, complacent, and all of a sudden lose the game because of that. So, desperate attempts by Don't Ban Malthael to get a turn in. But it's not looking good. Half a level until they are at level 16. So, yeah, there they go for Nubarak. That's 33 gems, 35 gems. They were just now eliminated. Another jump, another hit, waiting for the Stormbolt, trying to get more. Jet propulsion is out. Goodbye. Stukov dead. Gets demoted, no more Admiral, and they're going for another kill. This could even be game. They have 3 heroes that they just obliterated, and only Hogger and Hanzo are still alive. There is just no chance for them to turn this game around. A 3-0 lead in the best of 7 seems to be inevitable. YYDS is absolutely playing with their food here. It's insanity. Another quick victory for the blue team. They're looking so damn good in this series. A 3-0 lead in the best of 7 as Tomb of the Spider Queen goes to YYDS. GG. Well played. Okay guys, Dragonshire, map number 4 could be the final map depending on the result. So Jojo gets banned. But honestly, the more important thing that we're currently talking about is, like, for some reason we came to, like, during the break we talked a bit about supermarkets, and I said that one of the things that pisses me off the most is people that are in front of you in line and they are surprised of what's happening next. You know, like, they have like a big cart with stuff, and then after it gets pulled through, they're surprised that they're supposed to now put this somewhere, and then they're shocked that they have to pay for it, so they're just wasting everybody's time. And people have been talking about it that my biggest enemy is patience, and I don't think that's the case. I'm okay waiting a little bit, and if you have a good reason for it, then there's no problem at all with it. What I hate is people that just waste my time for no reason and that are totally inconsiderate of other people's time, and yeah, it's just maddening to me. And supermarkets are probably one of the places where this is the most transparent, because if you're standing behind somebody that has like a full cart and you have like 2 items, right? I need 3 seconds. I have the credit card in one hand, I have the bag in the other, and even if I have more stuff, I'm done. I'm immediately done. The guy pulls it through, locks the price in, the item is immediately in my bag, and then when I'm done, bam, I pay and I leave. And nobody behind me has to waste their time, ruin their day or whatnot. But there are some people that are just like sitting there like, paying? Money, yeah right, wait, do I have money? Where's money? Is it at the bottom of the bag? It's like, I want to punch these people. Really, I really do. So it's not a patience thing. It's just like being so inconsiderate that you don't give a shit about anybody else's time and just think the world evolves around you. It's crazy to me. Just think 2 steps ahead. How difficult can that be? It happened a day ago, so that's why it's still fresh in my head. But yeah, like, it was absolutely bonkers. Like, there were 2 people even. There were 2 people. And everybody behind, like, it was so bad that I actually turned around and looked at the people behind me. They looked at me. I just started laughing. I was just like, this has to be a hidden camera or something, all right? How fucking incompetent at life can you be? And everybody in the line was just laughing. And most people behind us, they actually left and went for another line that was twice as long and they were faster. But yeah, it is shocking to me how bad at life some people are. If you can't manage the supermarket queue, then you need to stay at home. You need to get some professional help, you need to make a lot of money some other way, get professional help, let somebody shop for you. But if you're already struggling at that, oh my god. Woosa. Alright, heroes. Fucking hell. Okay, so we're in Dragonshire. We got Brightwing, we got Blaze, and Anubarak. Where did the bad person hurt you, Khaldor? point at the puppet. Okay, so Dehaka and Hanzoin. So we got a global for Dragonshire, and it seems like they're trying to prevent the blue team from getting any kind of momentum with globals because they banned out Falstad, which is kind of interesting because in all the games that Don't Ban Malthael has played so far today, they have not picked Falstad a single time, nor have they banned him. So either they know that YYDS likes to play him and just didn't have to yet, or they just want to eliminate any kind of option at a global. And that's what they're currently doing here. But yeah, Rhaegar gets locked in, so that's a bit more clear for camps. We have Muradin, always great in Dragonshire, can go over terrain and do his thing, but yeah. Inuburak and Blaze. I like that combo. Again, any aggression that comes in from it is awesome. I mean, imagine that you're walking through like a lane and all of a sudden there's like a stupid shopper that doesn't know where exactly his money is. So you just come in with Inuburak, bam, straight first stun to the face. Blaze comes straight behind him, another quick punch, and then Sylvanas just blows them up. Their shopping cart falls apart. All of the groceries are on the floor. Somebody else just cleans them up, throws them all in the trash can, people included, and then you're first in line. It's amazing. So Inuburak, Blaze, glorious. Maiev picked. Maiev and Sylvanas. I like it. It's a good comp. It's a really good comp. Tons of control. It's not going to be easy to get away from this. And especially Junkrat and Hanzo as the squishies are going to have a tough time here. So, yeah. With that, we're going into Dragonshire. Dragonshire, game number 4. Can they put a point on the board? Or is Don't Ban Malthael now going to drop down into the loser's bracket? Let's find out. Game on! YYDS against Don't Ban Malthael, the best of 7 in game number 4 with a 3-0 lead for the blue team. On the left side, boy oh boy, the blue team does have more CC than an old lady with her purse hidden in her back at the supermarket queue. They got Maiev, they got Blaze, Inuburak, Brightwing. I mean, honestly, at that point, it's kind of nuts just looking at this lineup. If they get any kind of control and any kind of initiative in these team fights, they're just going to melt the red team away. It's going to be crazy. On the right side, we have also a fair amount of control with Muradin, Dehaka. They got for damage Hanzo and Junkrat and Rhaegar to round out the draft. But if the coordination that we've seen so far from the blue team is any indicator of what we're getting in this game, then this is going to be a very uphill battle for Don't Ban Malthael. I mean, I have to just say that they might be a little bit tired after the previous best of 5 series. Understandably so. But the blue team has been taking them apart. They've been like a surgeon wielding a scalpel and just cutting them apart piece by piece. So it's kind of crazy. So right now we have still Muradin. Yeah, there's already some of the CC coming through, and you can see them on the run right from the get-go. So Dehaka is coming in, trying to help out now, and maybe a bit of an attempt at turning this one. But right from the start, it's the blue team that's aggressive. It's the blue team that is looking to get a bit ahead here by getting kills. And that's dangerous. That's just really, really dangerous. So now we have also at the top, we got, well, Blaze up against Dehaka, who's already seemingly a little bit intimidated here. Shrines are activating, teams are just going for camps. It's nothing too insane just yet. It's just really that early skirmish. It was already a bit of a pointer, but coordination, communication is now everything here. And if the blue team can follow on the way that they played in the previous games, then they should have the upper hand. But time will tell. As it stands now, we have a bit more control for them. I mean, again, it's always a bit of pressure. But, well, here comes the first hit. And Sylvanas. I expected her to jump over, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought she's going to make the move. Talking about moving, look at that. Up to the top, Blaze. He likes to move it, move it. Do not tell me he's getting out there. Are you fucking kidding me? What?
Hail to the king, baby.
Are you joking? They triple him and he gets out. That is insane. And while that happens, the bot lane wall gets destroyed and the 4 heroes here are starting to take the fort down. Oh my god, like how bad can it get for you? That is rough. Yeah, Junkrat in his mind obviously played a bit of a role there. the timing was a bit unfortunate and probably safe plays, but the fact alone that it took them so long to even get to a potential kill, and then they didn't even lock that in, they weren't even close, and at the same time the bot lane got attacked, that's just nasty. Now all of a sudden Mirrodin gets body blocked and goodbye. Kill number 1. Oh my god, I feel a little bit sorry for Don't Balmathael. They are in so much trouble here, and that especially includes Hanzo. Look at him. Hanzo is just sitting there, he's like, get me out of here! Help! And he's dead. Now, Sylvanas is making it out of the fight. Rhaegar is also incredibly low. Everybody else is already retreating. They haven't been able to get the Dragonite with Blaze because the Haga has taken it up at the top. But this is getting... I mean, I'm feeling a little bit sorry for them right now. This is just unlucky. Some of this is unlucky, some of this is forced, some of this is unforced. But this is just bonkers. So the blue team, they seem like the team to beat at this point. Yeah, Nubarak gets bullied around a little bit, but he has his cooldown ready if I'm not mistaken. Diving right into Hanzo, another Stormbolt from Mirrodin could really help here, but now all of a sudden it's Maiev and Brightwing that can assist. And as I said earlier, the amount of CC that we have on the blue team is a bit bonkers. So Blaze is retaking the top, and that could be the first Dragonite of the game. Mirrodin is trying, is failing, and that's the first DK. So we have now another move for the mid lane. Dragonites with even more damage trying to burst through that wall. I mean, it's early on in the game, so this one isn't really scaling heavily. But they are going for the towers, and those are both going to be eliminated pretty quickly. So the wall is gone. Don't think that they can really do anything about the fort itself. But that is going to allow them to burn those minion waves down a little bit, get ahead in experience. They're now nearly an entire level ahead. And yeah, very nice position for the blue team to be in. I mean, first and foremost, they have a 3-0 lead in the best of 7. It doesn't get better than that. You have now 4 match points in a row, which means that on some of these games you can also play more aggressively, you can change your strategy up a little bit. And just psychologically, it is such a tall ask to have a team try and make a comeback happen, having to win 4 in a row now. And now Mirrodin gets taken down again. I talked about the incredible amount of CC that the blue team had during the draft, but as you can tell here, with tethers and stuns and then all the follow-ups, it's nearly impossible to do anything about it. Now we're even having Rhaegar isolated again. Hanzo is already dead, killed by Maiev. Rhaegar trying to desperately get out of there, and he's just like, help! And he's not getting any. So, yeah, he's still being hunted, still being chased. Brightwing is coming in too. He might be able to finally get out here, but they lost the fort at the bottom of the map. They're about to lose the fort in the mid lane, even if they can hold on to it for a bit longer. No, they can't. He gets destroyed. That's 2 forts down. And 4 kills to 0, level 11 to not even level 10 yet. It's, oh my, it's such a disaster. Don't ban Malthael. I mean, if at any point they're gonna start a comeback, it has to be now when they hit level 10 and just make a move. But instantly they're losing Junkrat, so he's now dead too. That extends the lead further. Nubarak is up at the top, is trying to get the stun connected with Rhaegar. Now, he missed both of those, but if he connects that, then I think the follow-up is gonna... Well, I think he's dying anyways, isn't he? That first feels unlucky. Ancestral is out, and he's just like, I need to get out of here. Meme Strike is out. They're diving under the fort. They are currently in the I don't give a fuck camp. They lost the Nubarak because of it, but it still leads to a counter kill against Hanzo, and they're not done with that yet either. Timeless is missing the disc, but it's still a 4 versus 4. Junkrat pushing them out. Sylvanas trying to bring it back, and... Oh! She jumped into the explosion. Oh boy, that one was special. 2 kills for Don Ban Malthael. But just in case you want to see that again, here, look at Sylvanas dying. So this is how it initially starts, and then here comes the Riptide, and Sylvanas thinks, hey, me smart, and tries to get away, and then jumps straight into the explosion here. So yeah, good moves by Junkrat, made up a little bit for missing out on killing Blaze early at the top lane. But you look at the minimap and you obviously know which team is currently doing, you know, their thing. Which one is pushing the agenda here. So yeah. They're just brawling it out, and they're closing in on level 13 talents, so they're going to be even further ahead on that. But yeah, it's impressive, to say the least. They're doing a fantastic job. I honestly really want to see who makes it through the losers bracket to face off against YYDS in the grand final. Always assuming that we're not going to get a crazy comeback. Now, we had a lot of comebacks, but a lot of games in best of fives that were 2-0 and the teams forced it back into a 5th map. But I just think that here it's going to be nearly impossible. I'm not going to discount it just yet. We had good games from Don Van Maltael, but given that they now also lost De Haka, it just seems unlikely. So, yeah. Bit of a kill attempt down here at the bottom of the map. That didn't work either. Dragon Knight number 2 is now taken. But if the blue team indeed moves on to the grand final, I really, really want to see who faces off against them. And I cannot wait for this battle. These guys are playing such a great style. It's so much fun to watch here. And now they're coming in with another kill. Hanzo is dead. Dragon Knight is busy in the mid lane. Up at the top, we have a camp plus minion waves trying to pressure another forward. Dragon Knight is going to open up the wall in the middle. And Nubarak, I mean, hello, sir. Just dives deep. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. What do you mean I shouldn't do that? What do you mean? This is where the opponents are. This is where you get your kills. And 9 minutes into the game, they are working the keep. And the Haka has moved towards the top because they're trying to get at least level 13 talents for the defense. And that fort is about to go. Down here in the mid lane, the keep is down. We're 9 minutes and 30 in the game in Dragonshire. 9 minutes 30 on Dragonshire, and they took a keep down. They have pretty much everything in the outer ranges, the outer ring of defense deleted, with the exception of the top fort. And guess what? That one is going to fall now too. They want to have a few more kills. 1 stun, 2 stun, tether. Error, can't move hero. That's, by the way, why we call it the Bridge of Death. You don't want to go up on that against AoE. Now, thanks to the bunker, they were able to avoid the worst. But it's not quite over yet. But of course, they're just turning the fight. Like, why wouldn't they? They're like, wait a second. We tried this dying thing and we don't like it. So how about we just kill them all? Is that good? Yeah. Bridge of Death? Oh, you mean death for them? Yeah. That's what we're trying to do here. Yeah, this team is insane. This team is fucking insane. Like, 10 minutes and 30 seconds in, and they're just like, guys, what do we kill next? How about we go for the bottom keep this time? Alright, let's do that. So, they took the keep in the middle, they now take the keep at the bot lane. They are not even trying anymore. They're just using their PhD in PvE to take some of the minions down. Because the good thing is that the minions barely fight back. Maybe an Anubara kill. He has no mana. He can't get out of this one. So, yeah, he definitely overstepped a little bit, but that's 2 keeps gone. And Hanzo thankfully survives this time. Yeah, it would have been just Muradin doesn't. I don't even know what to say here anymore. Bunker is back up again and they immediately use it. It's a 4 versus 4 with both of the teams losing their tank. But I don't even know where they're staying here. I mean, it's not like you can do anything. You can't go core. The death timers are too low. Unless you get the Dragon Knight now. But what a performance. 12 kills to 3. 29,000 damage for Junkrat and 33,000 for Sylvanas as the top damage dealers. But bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, we already thought that the Heroes International in Miami, if we have somehow a chance to invite a team from China, Taiwan, decided against it. Was just not in the cards for the last event. But if we have another one, I mean, one thing that would of course be pretty amazing is if we could get not only Korean teams, but maybe also some other teams out of the Asian region over there. So, would love to see that. At this point, they seem to be the team to beat, because now this is the 3rd Dragon Knight in a row. It's obviously very, very late already. In Taiwan, it's currently, I think, nearly 6 o'clock in the morning. So they've been playing through the night. I was assured earlier that that's pretty much when they're playing, and that's in accordance with their schedule more or less. But I have my doubts, honestly. And Don Van Maltael definitely played a lot more games. But even disregarding that, I think the performance of the blue team is, at least in this series today, on another level. They've been coordinating this from the first game to the last game just so incredibly well that you... I mean, tip to the head. That is some stellar play from them here. And they are already working on the core here. It's 12 minutes and 40 seconds in. They take Junkrat down. They drop the Haka and Rhaegar. And that's going to be game. 4-man down. They're going for the 5-man wipe, or they're at least trying to. Muradin is hoping to jump out, but that is game and a 4-0 victory for YYDS as they move on to the grand final and send Team Don't Ban Malthael to the losers bracket.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.